doing whatever. Oh, a minute. This again. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it off. People will deal. I don't know. I'm gonna mute it. People can just deal with it. Oh, look at that. We took a very, very long countdown that nobody cares about to welcome Scott and I. Scott, what's going on?
Nothing much. How's it going with you?
Good. I am taking, well, now that I'm fully vested in my things with this company, I can, with FTN, I don't care how long it takes for them to kind of do this. I can make fun of them and talk about how long it takes to get their data up, but I'm ready to kind of go do some NFL props with you. Or, I mean, what, you want to talk it? You want to do NBA first? What do you want to do?
It's up to you.
Okay. Well, like, let's tease the people with some, let's do like a 10 minutes of NBA and then we'll kind of find some player props for NFL because we are done betting NFL. After Wednesday, I promised Scott that I will not make him put more plays in after that. So that being said, I'm going to jump in. You just did the NBA show. So what do you got? That's an initial thought.
So I took this overnight. I like Zion points at it was 22.
I didn't wake up to that text. I usually wake up to your overnight text.
No, you didn't, because I was waiting for potential injury news, etc. You never know if Zion's going to play. That's kind of the problem. But I ended up taking it anyway. It's at 22.5. I think it's now at 23.5, but they're against the Nuggets. Nuggets can't stop anybody. Zion should get more usage with DeJounte being out for the year. So expect Zion.
For the record, we killed
we had the under on his props, and then he died. So yeah, that might be our fault. But either way, point is, I think it's a good matchup for Zion. Denver's been getting torched defensively. They've given up, I think, 122 plus in 5 of the last 6, and I think Zion has had 25 plus in 5 of his last 7 against Denver. So I like this over on points. I thought that was a good spot. Total's 241.5. So
okay, cool. Well, I see which book it's on. And might need your help. Yeah, actually, I do.
You could probably find a local that has it, honestly. But
all right, look at you. You're like I'm done. I'm done eating your tax liability. Is basically
pretty
what
much.
You just said.
It's not really a liability. It's like, I mean, you keep winning, but yeah.
No, that is.
I
know. Anyway, well, actually, if you can take it for me, that'd be great. But if not, I'm just gonna take it on a local. But no, I actually do want you to take it for me. Okay. The 23.5 I will take. Oh no, you know what? I'll eat the 3 cents. I'll take it on FanDuel. I'm with you on that one. That's I hadn't looked at anything until I looked at this. There was a futures play that I did do today. I did this like everyone else. I did Spurs to make the playoffs at 4-1. I think that the floor is higher for this team. The ceiling's also high for this team because Wemby's a top 3 player. I also think everybody else over there is mid, and I like them. Maybe if they bring back Pop, a la, Weekend at Bernie's to be on the sideline and move his arms and legs around to do the X's and O's, maybe something will happen, but we'll see. That being said, let me look at I haven't even looked at the slate till now.
For reference, by the way, these Spurs are 2 games out of the final play-in spot.
Okay. So I still like it.
No, I'm just letting people know. They're 2 games back of the Kings, but they've played 2 less games than the Kings. And on top of that, if you want to try to get out of the play-in entirely, they're only 5.5 back, and they've played 46 games. So there's a shot there.
Yep, I think there's a lot of ways it gets there. Okay, hold on. I'm just putting this in. It's 23.5 over is minus 105 on ESPN. So I'm going to put it in. Zion points. Sorry, it's Super Bowl week, and I am also booking clients for dumb interviews. So, all right, let me have an NBA thing that comes back with this. This new Spurs team that everyone's smacking against the Grizzlies off a back-to-back.
I like Memphis in the game, to be honest.
I like Memphis in this too. Yeah, the Spurs have been terrible lately.
Wemby might not even play. Wemby's questionable. He's sick. So Fox is not going to play. Usually takes a day or two for these new players to actually show up for their new teams. So I think Memphis should win. Play twice this season in San Antonio. Beat them by 12 plus both times. Ja did not play yesterday. So there's a chance maybe he plays today.
He probably plays today.
But they won anyway. This team's really good.
Wait, hold on. Why don't we let's take Ja assists, dude?
Well, because I don't know if Ja's going to play or not.
But why would he not play?
Because he misses half the games anyway.
Right, but if he does play, the total's 241.
Yeah, correct. I like the assists if he plays, if they have it posted.
Let's look.
It's probably
also, by the way, this is very low for him on rebounds and assists.
Probably like 7.5, I had to guess. 6.5?
No, 6.5.
It's not bad.
But
145, so basically 7.5.
Yeah, let me just see. I think I want. Let me see what his PA is. I don't know. He's been very good. He's had double doubles in both the games against. I kind of want to.
You want to go double?
Yeah, let's do double. I mean,
that's a good.
He's double in both his games against the Spurs. Let's do that. Let's do a double. All
right, sure, that's fine.
Yeah, 3-1. I like it. Yeah, because it's that total's crazy high. We have a chance of Wemby not playing. That'll probably end up closing at 280, 275. And we like the ceiling. Like the total's too high for us to ignore that. So
yeah, 3-1's a good deal.
Yep. Okay, let's play it. We'll play that straight. More importantly, everyone just tuned in to find Scott defiantly telling me that he will no longer mule bets for me, or hint that he would not.
No, I'll do it. I just saw a 3-cent differential on FanDuel, and I figured you would just take the 3 cents.
That is also true. Helms is here. Holy shit, Scott! Have you ever heard of Manscaped? Helms,
do you understand? It snowed yesterday. It's freezing over here in New York. This keeps me warm during the winter months.
All right. I think we'll do some other plays later and we'll figure those ones out. But I'll drop these right now in our chat. Let's do some NFL. First of all, you and I will lab a few things offline tonight. Last night I slept early and it was glorious. By the way, all those things that I chased that I put in, they all hit. So our consistent thing of late night Sunday props saves everything. So you should just know that.
Yep.
So, someone asked, is there a filter for implied probability? Well, there you can do that. You can like sort it on the web app. But basically you could just kind of do the math based on what the price is. So the filter would be if you want to do like for example, like we'll do this right now. If you wanted to, you could say, let's say odds wise, you wanted something that was, had a implied probability of greater than 50%, then you could do this because that would technically answer it because you're using the odds as the implied probability. All right. Anyway, we took that break from the nerd stuff. All right. Here's what we're going to do and how we're going to structure this. I'm not going to break it into, let's talk about receiving props on the Eagles, or actually we've done this a lot, but let's talk about receiving props in general. We haven't done a lot of it. We did one last week, but is there any receiving props that you're kind of looking at? I was going to kind of use that to get into a couple players and things like that and see what we might like here.
I mean, I had some thoughts about Devontae Smith, but I kind of
let's do it because I actually had a text that was queued up to send to you today of like I think it's time for us to bet Devontae Smith. What's your take going to be?
My take is that I think his lines are a bit short. I feel like that if you're looking at the Chiefs trying to potentially limit the ground game, you're going to get Devontae in a lot of opportunities for big plays. I think that Devontae is a very solid player who I feel like is going to be, I don't want to say ignored by the betting public in this game because I just think
I think he's pretty popular, but
he's pretty popular. That's what I was gonna say. But I feel like with AJ Brown's, I'll put the word inconsistency out there in the postseason. I do think that Devontae Smith for his yards at 50.5, that seems very low, especially with his numbers against Kansas City in his career or Spagnuolo in general. 50.5 is very low for Devontae Smith, so I like the over on him.
I think 50.5 based on his ceiling is pretty low, and we've seen that it's gotten bet up. Do we want to get funky and look at first half yards?
I'm fine with that. I mean, he had a 20+ yard catch on the
this is only we can only do it on Prize Picks. Dang.
Okay. Well, either way.
No, I like here's the thing. Do we want a longest catch? No. Not over 20.5. That's a bad play.
If it was like 19.5, maybe, but not
20.5. Receiving yards. I mean, I think I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know why I'm sorting through this. I'm in. Like it's I have it over here. I'm gonna go to let me share this tab and I can show people on a stats hub. But big picture. The defenses, let's do it. We got a receiving defense, yards per here, let's do this on the receiving side. Yards after catch. This is since week 12. Casey's been good. The yards per target has been, let's see what it is. I mean, they haven't done well against, there it is. Yards per target is 6.7. Yards per route is 11.3. This is a lot of this stuff is just very much made for a guy like Devonta Smith in that middle of the field. There was another one that I wanted to look at that there was efficiency. Let's see, catches, contested catch rate. This is all the fun stuff that people are like, oh, this is so nerdy. Is it yak per reception that I wanted to look at? Maybe he's not really like a yak guy because he's like 2 feet tall. They still give, this is wild. Casey's given up a ton of yak yardage for a team that's like really good at yak per reception. They're second most since week 12.
Which is exactly what Devontae wants to do. So
right. I mean, dude, look how many first downs they've given up through the air in the last 9 games. 105 first downs. The longest catch they've given up. They've been good at limiting longer catches.
Yeah.
Seems. But
so do we want the like Devontae receptions?
No, I don't want to mess with receptions in a game where you and I think that the clock's constantly running.
Okay.
I just would rather. I'm just looking around to see if there's some other points on this that we really cared about. I mean, I think that the yards per target is like at a solid number. Like this is, bottom quote half. So let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Do we want an alt? I guess that's my question. Instead,
I mean, do you want to ladder it?
Not with the amount of action that we have at the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Well, if there's one guy that we're going to ladder, I think he's worth laddering. But like, I would rather just start him with like what did he have last time against them? 99. He's had like 100. I feel like we could just go with 60 and instead of this 55.
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't you think that because here's the thing, yes, he gets to 55. The difference in rate this year. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, he was killing it for a while. He got hurt, came back.
I don't know if he ends up getting to like 90 or 100, but
I don't know if he gets to 90 or 100 either. But like
80. I think 80 is a realistic ceiling.
Well, if we had to pick one, I think we take 60.
Yeah.
Say, okay, you and I are betting 60. Cool.
Okay. Works.
All right. So we have a lot of fades on the other side of this. But this is new. I didn't see that there's like pictures behind Saquon Barkley. All right. So receiver that we want on that other side. What do we think of Hollywood Brown?
I mean, he's better than DeAndre Hopkins. Does that count?
Wait, so here's my question actually, because he's kind of the enigma.
I don't know if he's an enigma. He might just be washed at this point, but we can. Enigma is another word for wash potentially.
Do we want any DeAndre Hopkins?
There's no chance I take
under. I like our Noah Gray under longest.
I like that too. There's no chance I take the DeAndre Hopkins props over. I can't.
Okay. Zero chance.
Zero chance for me. If you want to do it yourself, you can.
No. Because you and I are going to be tied. Well, first of all, the market agrees with us. We're going to be tied on the same action the whole game. Like that's how you and I operate. It's a shared bank account. So it's not really a shared.
Do you want to make a case for it? Because he has a lot.
Here's my only case that I can make for him at all is the case that he just hasn't been used. But I just think that's like, here's why I'm not a big, and his ADOT's really high.
See, the problem is that you say he has not been used, but they've been in close games. Like the Houston game was one possession for most of the way through. The Buffalo game was a war.
Yeah, I think it's worth. I think we got the guys we want. It's Worthy and Kelsey.
I mean, you mentioned Hollywood Brown. I could be talked into that a lot sooner than DeAndre Hopkins. Like if Hopkins has an okay game, fine, I can live with that. He's not even creating separation. Like he's not even close in any of these games.
Look at that, 5 yards per target on 41 targets.
He's horrible.
Awful. That's really bad.
I know he might win a ring.
3 yards, 3 receptions per game. This is why I like our Worthy bets so much more. For those just joining, we have Worthy first to 20 yards at plus 370.
Yeah, give or take.
Oh, we have a terrible number on him to lead the game in receiving yards. It's better on ESPN at 5-1. Sorry.
Yeah. But you started this data from week 12. I'm sure if you only focus on like 16 and onward, Hopkins' numbers are probably even worse. He hasn't done anything.
These are bad numbers, and this is from when he was playing.
Correct. Like he doesn't do anything. So yes, if you want to go for
His
Hopkins,
stat percentage is low.
Yeah, as it should be.
His route percentage is low. Marquise Brown has the same has a higher yards per game with half the work.
Yeah.
That tells you all you need to know.
There's no chance I bet Hopkins. He can't move.
Yeah, we're not betting Hopkins.
He might win a ring anyway. I'd be happy for him, but he has contributed basically nothing to the ring. Just to be clear.
Here's the one thing I think he is. That's the only thing that you can make. The only case you could make for him. That's not even a good ADOT for what he does.
I still think that might be skewed because you throw in 12, 13, and 14. Like, I don't know if he's done anything in the last month in terms of depth.
Yeah.
He doesn't create any separation. Yeah.
I think we have the guys that we like.
I can honestly be talked into a Hopkins under in theory, but we're not. Maybe that's a little bit.
We already have. We have a Noah Gray under.
Yeah, I know. I still like that.
We have his longest under.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did we want? Oh wow. We really got the best of this number.
Mm-hmm.
We have 10.5.
Yeah, we did.
We gave that out a week ago on this program. All right. Anyway, I think he stinks. He's actually from up the streets from Leominster. Okay. Do you want to talk about any running backs?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I know you liked a prop yesterday, which did not involve an actual running back per se.
No, and I'm going to give a shout because I took it. CJ Sullivan turned me onto it, but I do think so. First of all, baseline, I think that Saquon's number on his rushing is too low. Like you cannot, like it just is. I mean, if he does, someone's going to say, "Oh, he's not going to hit it." Well, 110 rushing yards for a dude who's been doing this. And has had 200 multiple times this year is too low. This, like, if anything, I would have probably made this 118, to be honest. Like, yeah. This is I have him for MVP. I mean, obviously, like, people bet this down. That seems to be the sharp way to approach it. But I'm wondering, we have his receiving yards. We got his receiving yards early. This number is actually a good number now too. We had taken it 11.5. It got bumped up, got bumped down to I like the 12.5 if people are still looking for one. Do we want to do is there anything with Saquon that interests you, any more Saquon liability or no?
No. I feel like we have kind of talked about Saquon. It's really tough for Saquon because you know that everyone's going to be on him.
Okay. That's fine.
Like, unless you want to make another pitch, I don't mind the team stuff because if you end up getting a potential Hurts long run or even a backup long run, then you still have a shot at it, you know?
Do we want to look at Hurts stuff?
Well, I'm going to ask you because you have the team rushing yards. So do you want to double dip?
So I'd rather take the team rushing. So there's a team rushing we have at, what do I have? I have it over, oops, sorry. I just realized that share this tab because I'm over here. I have 161, which I think is great. I think that is really low for this team as a whole. So I'm not really interested. I guess my thing is I feel like I don't have enough KC stuff.
Okay.
I'm not really so I don't know.
Well, you also think the Eagles win the game, so that is somewhat calculated.
That is fair, but I also don't want to be an ostrich. I don't want to have my head in the sand here.
Okay.
I mean, we definitely agree we like Hunt more than we like
Pacheco.
Hunt stuff's been getting bet up.
There might be some value in like Pacheco touchdown, but I don't want the yards, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What about how about rush attempts is always a good market for you and I to hit.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like the Chiefs have been putting the ball in Mahomes' hands a lot, but, whatever has value to it.
Let's see. Rush attempts. God, this is high.
I know it is.
I can't take that for a running back. I don't think. I think.
See, he had 17 against Buffalo, but we had some questions about Buffalo's run defense throughout the course of the season. So
correct.
The Eagles' run defense, I think we'd agree, is stout. So. Yes. I mean, you can make the argument that if it's a good game script for the Chiefs and they're up, then you might lose. But if the game's close, I don't see Hunt getting to 12.
12 is a lot. 12 is very high.
I think it's an extreme overreaction to the Buffalo game because Buffalo's been bad against the run for the entire season.
I kind of like the under, man.
Well, I'm going to ask you, though, like, how many carries do you think Pacheco ends up with?
5.
Is this like a hot hand game, or is this just Hunt's number 1 and Pacheco's getting 5 or 6 no matter what?
It's funny because for me, my gut instinct is so look, as soon as Pacheco came back, by the way, games with Pacheco. Okay, as soon as he came back, he only went over this twice.
Okay.
I think we want Hunt under. They also love Pacheco. Keep that in mind.
That's what I was wondering. Like if you go into the first half and Hunt ends up with like 5 carries for, let's say, 15 yards.
Sure.
And Pacheco gives you 3 for like 30. He has like 3 solid runs. Do you think there's a potential pivot there from Reed? They give a little bit more workload to Pacheco and like.
I think they want Pacheco to take the job back to do it.
I'm kind of wondering if
they rode him into the Super Bowl last year.
I mean, I view them more. I don't know if it's a fair 1A 1B situation to say because I know Hunt's been better, but the argument is if you think that they're close and one guy outperforms the other guy by a decent amount in the first half, is there a chance Reed maybe flips the usage? That's kind of what I'm asking you.
Yeah, I think that there is.
If there is, then I think we want the under.
I think we want his under.
Because we have a fail-safe if Pacheco just outperforms Hunt and they end up switching.
If Pacheco outperforms Hunt, or if Hunt outperforms Pacheco and runs away with it, the Chiefs won this game and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. There are a couple games
if Hunt's getting 12, 13, 14 carries, it's because they're running out the clock and they got it.
Yeah, but the point is if the Chiefs are losing, then you like the game script for the under anyway. And if Pacheco plays well, they're going to give him more touches no matter what. So there are a couple scripts for it.
I think that they're dying to. This is high, man.
I think it's high.
Especially we forget the fact that Mahomes is going to want the ball on his. Like if they're losing, Mahomes is going to have the ball.
That's what I'm saying. If they're losing, then they might half abandon the run. So there are a couple scripts that promote the under for this.
Yep. Nope. I agree. I think we take that. I'm also trying to see like what are the scripts where the Chiefs win. The script where the Chiefs win is honestly still like covered by the Worthy Kelsey stuff for me.
I think it is. I mean, if you want the script for the Chiefs winning, I think it'll be ugly, personally. I think Hurts probably has an off game. I think the Chiefs will win the turnover battle, and I think that maybe you get a couple of big plays in the passing game. But mostly, if the Chiefs win, I'm really just picking Hurts to be off.
Yeah.
And I feel like that turns into an ugly game, and maybe the Chiefs will end up trying to grind clock out. But if the Chiefs are winning, we might lose this anyway. But I think it's mostly through defense they win this game.
Yep, I agree.
So that's where I'm at.
All right, then we're gonna take it. We got that one. Let's see. Is there anything else that I like that more than the
price on that though? Because that was Bet365 at -110.
Yeah, I saw it. It's on it's -121 on
that's fine.
DK, which is fine.
We'll consult the locals.
Yeah, we'll see what the locals say too. Mm-hmm. All right. Is there any other rushing stuff that we would want?
Do you have anything you want? Maybe Mahomes? You want rush attempts? You want something?
Let me look.
That should be inflated after last week, to be fair. But
30 rushing yards.
I think I have to like the under on that because Mahomes is going to lose 40 rushing yards on the kneel downs alone.
30 is so high.
He's going to lose 40. If they win the game, he's going under because he's running backwards 20 yards. We've seen this, right?
Let's just see.
I mean, is that a fair statement?
6.5. So 6.5. He's going to get 7. Okay, so this season, 6.5 is high.
I mean, he ran a ton against Buffalo, but Buffalo, I don't really know what the hell they're doing defensively.
I don't know what they were doing.
You have the Texans game where there were some kneel downs, etc. And then he was under in every other game.
Yeah, man, I think this is high. Like,
it is juiced though at 133.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's a good parlay piece.
I think we want the yards though, because if we think the Chiefs potentially win this game, I don't want to say you automatically win if they win this game, but he's running backwards 30 yards on kneel.
Yeah, he will.
So then I think you do want the under. Do you want an alt under? You want to go nuts with this? If they just run backwards 30 yards, you just cash at the last second?
No.
They have alt rushing yards?
They used to. It's not on here.
Am I getting a bit too creative here? Because I do like the prospect of him having like 50 and losing like 30 yards on the run back.
I mean, he only had over 30 4 times this year. This is
but it wasn't even around 20. Like he was going under 20 a lot.
Yeah, this is too high, guys.
I want an alt line for the under, but we don't have that.
No, I think we want this. I think we want I think we want that.
Okay. I could be entertained by the prospect of an alt under rushing yards if you think Kansas City has a shot at winning, and there's a chance Mahomes literally runs backwards 20 yards. You know he'll do it. You know he'll do it. We've seen it in the Super Bowl before. So I wonder how many people are going to bet on Mahomes over rushing yards and then forget about him losing like 20 yards in that Super Bowl against the Niners. You think people remember that, or do you think like
I do? I was on.
Of course you do. I'm saying I think the public probably like, oh, Mahomes, he killed Buffalo last week, and it's like, oh wait a second, he had that crazy game against the Niners a couple years ago.
I think he killed it. No, I mean, I think it goes under either way because especially with that kind of defense.
Well, how does Philly contain quarterbacks though? I know you have Outlier up. What is the number against quarterbacks for rushing yards?
It's pretty.
Okay, it's average. Okay.
Yeah, so it's average, and they generally have done a good job.
Okay.
All right, cool. We got a bunch of stuff. Then I'm gonna dish this out to people. I'm gonna put this right here. And we got a couple of things that we can do. Scott will be on my show on Wednesday. We're going to do a bigger show, a big Super Bowl show where we'll show a whole bunch of stuff. That'll be on Wednesday night at 9. Scott's on it. Steffi Smalls is on it. Sean's on it. Both Sean's are on it.
I'm on every show that you're on, basically.
You're on every show that I'm on as we finish up this NFL season. All right, Scott, tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Show Radio, doing a bunch of podcasts with SGPN, an NBA show, MLB show, WNBA show, and also the tennis show. So if you want some thoughts, they're all free on the podcast format. So once again, find it all on Twitter.
Sounds good. All right, I'm Adam Rosenberg. You can find me at Hey Rosenberg. I post stuff under Baby Zoo Bet. And yeah, so let's look, everybody. Good luck with your bets, and don't blame us if they lose because it wasn't our fault. Talk to you guys soon.